Today I want to talk about Eververse, but why am I talking about Eververse? Well, the reason for that is that I feel that things should change within the game, and a big part of my community expects me to talk about these issues. They expect to hear my opinions, and I like to try to do my best to represent how the community feels, so that's a big part of this video. I understand if some folks don't like, videos complaining about Destiny 2, if you're completely comfortable with the game where it is right now, then that's something I absolutely understand. It's worth me saying though, I'm not making these videos for a cheap few quid while I can. I'm here for the long haul, I plan to be playing Destiny 2 in 6 months, and hopefully in a year from now, and to see a better game. And that's why I wanted to contribute to this conversation. We've seen, in the recent past, when the community makes a lot of noise about issues, Bungie have actually come out and responded and improved things. And that is 100% of the reason that I am making this video. So, the problems with Eververse, they absolutely exist. Number one is the price and the randomness. And this is in a world where, what's in Eververse is in Eververse. I'll get more into that stuff in a moment, but getting good stuff, higher tier, exotic stuff, I guess, from these engrams is just too hard in my opinion. I've had none of the new exotic ships or sparrows since the DLC, and that's not me complaining about my RNG. The point is, does anyone else feel like they're chasing Eververse items at this point? It's some of the most attractive stuff in the game, but of course if you buy into bright engrams, then you're making a pretty huge gamble. The chance of you getting anything good and anything in particular that you want, they are pretty low. On the other side of the coin, if you simply grind for bright engrams, then you're probably gonna end up being disappointed. And you've kind of got this loop in the game right now where the carrot on a stick is Eververse. I really want Ikora's ship, for example. In fact, I can't think of anything else in the game right now that I want more. And that's not because I want to buy into Eververse, that's because I want that ship. This is the carrot on the stick, which leads to problem 2. This loot should not be in Eververse. We've got exotic ships and vehicles, and those items in themselves, don't necessarily bother me a ton. But then look at this, Sails of Osiris, the Osiris themed ship for the recent DLC. You've got Saint 14's Grey Pigeon, a character that we ran a quest to get a weapon for recently. Kabar's Glass Aegis, Ashamir's One-Way Ticket, Ikora's Resolve, the Sundaresh Experiment. These are all items with lore attached to them, which, link directly to characters, places, enemies in the game. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a moment. You do also have ghost shells, of course. They do have perks on them, which, for some people means that they're kind of on the edge of pay to win. I don't think that's a super robust argument, but they do drop, with perks, which are random, so, it's dangerously close in my opinion. Also on the front of themed gear, we've got the Amiga Mechanus set right now, and this is Vex themed, it's enemy themed, it's pretty cool looking stuff. It should be dropped from enemies in activities. What's happened here is, a lot of the appealing stuff is being put behind Eververse, and this is point 3. It actively subtracts from the endgame of Destiny 2. Think back to D1, we had hidden missions, secret quests, all these kind of things. In D2, it just isn't really happening, is it? Of course, with Curse of Osiris, we got the Perfect Paradox Shotgun quest, and you can actually forge Saint 14's shotgun. There's a mission for it. It's really cool. Why isn't there more of that stuff dropping these items in the game? We already did the Saint 14 quest. Why do we get Saint 14's Grey Pigeon from a bright engram? That should have also been a reward for that mission, or for the quest, or, a side quest, or an activity. And it's the same with raids, we don't have cool raid ships anymore. We don't have ghosts or sparrows dropping from those raids. And the thing is, Bungie have invested in actually creating these items. So it's not a case of, well, we couldn't get the raid loot table finished, we couldn't get a ghost or a sparrow or whatever finished. Quite frankly, that is bullshit. It's in Eververse. Here's something for ya. Sails of Osiris. That could be a reward for completing every heroic adventure on Mercury. Ashamir's One-Way Ticket. Hey, Asha, he's got a quest for me. You could even reuse items, complete lost sectors on Io to collect Radiolarian culture, complete the Pyramidion in under 10 minutes, connect it to the story, return Brachion's ashes to Asha, and hey, here's a ship for being such a good guardian. Ikora's Resolve, that's an awesome ship, I really want it. We've got meditations, there's no reason to play them. Hey, reach rank 5 with Ikora and you'll get a quest to go get this ship. The point is, that stuff is not in the game because they need to push Eververse. They've made the decision to put these items in Eververse, subtract from the rest of the game, so that you feel like, hey, I don't know what to do, maybe I'm gonna have to go try get that ship by buying some bright engrams. Boredom results in people doing things that they wouldn't normally do. And those are my problems with Eververse. But what's the point of sitting and complaining if there's no solution? So here are my solutions. Number 1, increase the drop rates of higher quality items from bright engrams, whatever engram it is at the time. Number 2, decrease the amount of XP needed after the well-rested buff runs out. Just give people more of it. Number 3, be a bit more giving. You know, Overwatch, The Division, Star Wars Battlefront, all of them had free loot boxes or a free currency or something, you know, over the holiday season. Destiny 2 actually had a holiday event, and even then they couldn't say, hey, it's Christmas, here's 5 free engrams or whatever. But number 4, and the bigger issue for me because it really affects the actual game, don't put lore-based, enemy-themed, you know, stuff that should be rewards for activities, gear, ships, ghosts, whatever it is, behind Eververse. Having a Dawning or an event-specific ship is fine, but having Ikora's ship is just not cool. Take these items that already exist and make them into quest and hidden mission rewards. Do what you did in D1, it worked. There's no need to stop doing it. Ultimately, I think we should be in a position where for every 10 items that are in Eververse, there should be 20 items that are cooler than that are available from actual gameplay activities. And it's that simple. Bungie, you're gonna have to change things in my opinion. And I know some people would want my solution to be, you know, take Eververse out of the game. And believe me, if that was an option, if Bungie said they would do that tomorrow, I would 100% go for it. But the reality is that that isn't going to happen. So I think there needs to be a major revision of the stuff that you get from these engrams, how much they cost, how many good drops you get from them. I just don't think it can be as big of a part of the game as they originally planned for it to be. I really don't think it's going to work out like that in the long run. We had Eververse in Destiny 1 and people weren't that affected by it because you hadn't subtracted a ton of the rest of the game to put in there. And the thing is, it's so blatant. You get to a certain point and it's very, very clear what is missing in the game and where it's been put instead, and unfortunately that's Eververse. So those are my thoughts, guys. Like I said, I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I do believe that there are glaring, significant issues which are going to affect Destiny going forward if this is the model. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. It's unfortunate that we keep having to have these kind of conversations about Destiny, but hopefully it will mean a better future for the game. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, guys. If you have enjoyed the video, a like is appreciated. If you're new to the channel though and you want to hear more constructive conversations about Destiny 2 going forward, as well as a lot of positive Destiny 2 content when it's actually there, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. For now though, I appreciate you watching and I hope you have an awesome day.